Happy Friday the 13th, everybody, and welcome to the long-awaited, much-delayed Friday the 13th Slaylist. Previously known as the kill ranking on this channel. This is the fourth kill ranking that I've done. If you're just now joining me, or if this is the first time you've watched, I've done Nightmare on Elm Street, I have done Halloween, and I have done Child's Play. And Friday the 13th was the Mac Daddy of all of these videos that I had planned. Had to delay it multiple times because YouTube was getting a little bit finicky with the word kill. So I changed it to Slaylist, figured it was a cooler name anyway. So now, we are here, finally, to rank all 181 kills in the Friday the 13th franchise. Holy shit. So for all my first time viewers, the way this is going to work is I basically grouped all of the kills together from all of these films. Some of them I have bunched together as one kill if multiple people are killed in one succession, or if there's like a group kill like in Freddy vs. Jason and one of them in Jason X, that just make more sense to consider that whole scene one kill just to make things streamline a little bit better. I'm going to be talking about every 10th kill in this ranking, which are ones that are kind of premier ones that I have some commentary on, and then I will be talking about the bottom 5 that I have very passionate views on why they suck so much, and the top 10 on why they are top 10 out of 181. So gonna be a lot of montaging through all of these. It would be like a 5-hour video if I talked about all 181, but nonetheless, enough of me talking. Let's get to the carnage, baby. Carnage candy begins with 181. The worst, the grossest, the dumbest, or just the flat out most pointless kill in this entire blood-soaked, carnage candy-filled franchise, and that is a kill from Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, the smiley face. Okay, this is just fucking stupid. That's all I have to say about it. Number 180 brings us to the next film in the franchise, Part 7, A New Blood, Carrie vs. Jason, and this is just a repetitive kill that we see, I think, 3 times in this franchise, and this one is just straight up slapstick. I mean, come on. We've seen this kill before, have a little more originality, but if you are gonna do it, go balls out. Have them fall into something. Don't have them fall off a 2-story and then just cut to a shot of them going, ugh. Number 179 is gonna be, what the hell is that on my camera?
Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
This one, I'm not a fan of the character. And I'm not a fan of this kill. The whole like killed under the camera thing is annoying. We see that a lot in this franchise too, but this one's just, the motherfucker just walked onto the knife. I mean, Pamela had to have been just holding it there. Hey, what are you doing out here? Number 178 brings us to a boat. Not Manhattan, a boat. And this is one of the opening kills of the film. One of the most drawn out, slow, and agonizingly, irritatingly shot kills in this entire franchise. Just fucking get to it. No, I am not renaming my channel Cody Screedia. I've told you this before. Oh shit, she's dead. And number 177 brings us to one of my favorite installments of this franchise, and it sucks that one of its kills has to be this low on this list, but Friday the 13th, the final chapter, Mrs. Jarvis. What the hell even happened to this chick? Like, you don't even get to find out. You get a surprised face. And you'll find out in this countdown, I'm not so much of a fan of cheap off-screen kills. If you're gonna not show the carnage, you better show a little creativity. This one, nothing. Number 170 is the kill that kicked off this entire blood-soaked franchise, and that is Claudette and Barry in the opening of the original Friday the 13th. Two camp counselors that go up into the loft and start messing around, and then you get the POV kill of one of them.
We weren't doing anything, we were just messing around.
And the freeze frame kill of the other one. Like I said before, off-screen or under camera kills, okay, I understand you want to ramp up the body count. Sometimes you just have to do that to make you have, 15, 20 kills in a movie where you only have the money for the effects of about 7 kills, but this kill has just never really kicked off the movie with a punch for me. Number 160 is purely plot-based for me, honestly. This is John Shepherd in the Part 7, A New Blood. This is the father in the opening of the movie who's an abusive prick, and the little girl does her little carry move and blows up the dock and drowns her father. And leading up to the ending of the movie, which is, I'm pretty sure, my least favorite kill of Jason. Well, least favorite defeat of Jason, where he comes back out of the water and pulls Jason. This whole plot point just... Number 150 is all of the possession deaths in Jason Goes to Hell. Now, I have grouped all 4 of these together. There's multiple people that Jason kind of possesses throughout this film, and only one of them on screen actually shows what happens when Jason's presence leaves their body, and it's a very, very wild little body horror, kind of David Cronenberg type scene where the body just starts melting and sticking to everything. The other ones are off-screen, but I figured it was pointless to show off-screen kills, all 3 of them, so I just kind of bunched them together as a category. I think that these are interesting enough, and if we're being honest, it's unique, but the whole plot point of Jason being like a being that can just possess multiple people, 150. $140 is the dumbass professor from Jason X, who thinks that, oh, Jason's got his machete back now. Things are good.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back. Whew.
Hey guys, threat's over. Movie's over. You can go home. He's behind me, isn't he?
Whoa!
Number 130 brings us back to throwing people out of a fucking window. Like I said, it happens a couple times in this franchise. This one is the best of the bunch. Still not very high on this list. This is when I believe Tina is the character's name that gets thrown out of the window in part 4, the final chapter. And this one actually has some punch at the end of it. She doesn't just fall and then it cuts to her just nothing or cuts to her faking falling. No, this bitch just hits a fucking car and blows that thing to pieces. That looked like it hurt. Number 120. Hi, Danny. Roy Burns. The big reveal. The big spotlight moment in Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, when we find out, is this the real Jason finally reincarnated, or is this an imposter, a copycat, posing as Jason Voorhees? So you get Roy Burns, who's clawing at the remaining remaining 3 characters in this barn, gets his arm chopped off and falls onto these tractor spikes. And while the kill itself is gruesome enough, like just falling onto all these spikes, I like all of that. I've never been a gigantic fan of the identity of the killer in the 5th film. Like, there's some things that I do like about Part 5 that I think is a little bit underrated about it, but the whole we'll just pick a character out of a hat and that'll be the killer thing. And also, I always found it really corny that when he falls, the mask just perfectly explodes open to show his fucking face. Anyway, number 120 is the amazing reveal of Mr. Roy Burns in A New Beginning. Danny, I'll take my write-up on Monday.
Fucking right, dude.
110 brings us back to Jason Goes to Hell, and this one is interesting enough for me because I like the quickness of it and I like the effects on these two guys. So you have one of the possessed Jason cops, I don't remember the dude's name, but he suddenly wakes up and he grabs 2 officers and just smacks their heads together. And very quickly, once he does it, the facial makeup effects of these 2 guys' face just being blown open on the sides, I actually kind of like that. So, small soft spot for this kill. Number 100 brings us to the Friday the 13th, 2009 remake, and this is the opening of the film. This is basically the recap of the events of the original Friday the 13th, very quickly spliced in with the credits, a lot of lightning, some black and white, and you get a second version of Pamela Voorhees getting her fucking head cut off.
Every minute! Kill for mother.
This one, I'll be honest, it's not that I have an issue with the kill itself, because it's an iconic kill. I mean, it's something that you probably would have to have in Friday the 13th no matter what you try to do with the remake. What I have an issue with this kill is the way that it's shot. I don't necessarily love the splicing it with the lightning. It makes it a little bit hard to see. It's so dark. And I also don't like the fact that in one cut of the film, I believe at least, where you have baby Jason that walks and sees and goes and picks up the machete. This is mostly a plot-based reason why this is so low, but decent enough way to just get those events over with quickly and get us to what we want in Friday the 13th remake, and that's Jason fucking people up. Number 90 takes us to Freddy versus Jason, and this one's kind of a comedic kill. This is where you get the deputy that's kind of been hanging out with the teenagers and being the one adult that's gonna help them out, and then suddenly just gets taken out in a comedic way where Jason shoves his machete into an electric panel, and then he sees him getting away and he just grabs his ass. He's like, nope, you're coming with me, bitch. Number 80, this one is actually one of my favorite kills in Part 7. This is a movie that is just absolutely obliterated by the MPAA. I really wish we could get an uncut version of this film, because honestly, if the uncut versions of these kills were available to be seen, this movie might jump 2 or 3 spots in my ranking, because it does have one of the cooler Jasons, but they just make everything so watered down. But this watered down kill actually makes me laugh. It's meant to be slapstick, but where some of the kills, like number 181, just doesn't work for me at all, this one, it gets a smile on my face. Number 70 brings us back around to Freddy vs. Jason, and this is the opening kill to one of my favorite sequences in Freddy vs. Jason, where you have the character, I believe his name was Shaq, who is basically talking shit to Jason and sets him on fire and is running away. And even though you can tell he has the blood, like the effects blood in his mouth when he's running, because he's like, that's a little bit hokey, but whenever you see the flaming machete just shoot across the screen and just blow out of his chest, and then boom, you kick off one of the cooler sequences in that film. I have fun with this one. Number 50, there was actually an earlier version of this list where this kill was much lower because of the reasons that I was already talking about with part 7 being so neutered by the MPAA. But as I sat on it and as I kind of went over my list, this one actually rose up quite a few spots because this is the one and, crazily enough, only time that you get to see Jason Voorhees operate some kind of a power equipment to kill a motherfucker. Dr. Cruz, the tree saw, you know it. Number 40, this one might surprise all of you with how high that it is, being how much I've talked about off-screen kills, but what I also said about off-screen kills is I like creativity. And I really like how this kill is shot. It's always been one of the more standout sequences in Friday the 13th, the final chapter for me. You don't get a whole lot of Jason in the shadows kills that aren't POV shots, and this one to me, with the effects of the lighting and the lightning effects and just the way that the shadows work to display this kill, I always thought it was a really cool, unique, and standout kill in the franchise. Number 30, yes, I know this kill is derivative, and I've taken points off of other kills for being derivative, but it's a derivative of one of the best kills in the franchise, so you gotta love it. I mean, this totally takes us in Jason X and just transplants us immediately into the nostalgia of the early Friday the 13th films, and you get a amplified version of one of his most famous kills from A New Blood. Number 20 brings us back around to the 2009 remake, and I actually really like this kill because there's some comedic value with the nudity here. Now, 2009 has been criticized by a lot of people for being way too much as far as the excess of nudity and the excess of sex scenes and everything, but to me, that's kind of like the cliche, those are like the staples of the Friday the 13th franchise, is gore and sex. So this kill kind of combines both of those. Well, we are finally here, everybody. We are at the top 10. Time to hear me talk to the end of this video. So number 10 brings us back to part 7, A New Blood, and probably the most famous kill from that film, for good reason, because it fits the whole camping theme and motif of Friday the 13th with Camp Crystal Lake, and it's also just a really cool creative kill. Supposedly there was a more gory version of this that the MPAA cut, like pretty much every other damn kill in this movie, but the goreless part of this kill actually kind of amplifies some of the comedy of it a bit. So, the sleeping bag kill, you know which one it is. Number 9 is one of the most awesome kills in this entire franchise, and it's mostly because of the after effects. It's not really a kill that shows you the carnage right away. You get to see the aftermath later on, and it really just hammers home. When you got this goofy bastard walking around on his hands off and on this whole movie, you're like, what are they gonna do with that? That's gonna come into play at some point. Oh, it came into play.
Coming from.
Number 8 brings us back to the 2009 remake, and this is the kill that lets you know that this Jason, that Derek Mears' interpretation of Voorhees, was not fucking around. This is the dude from the opening that sees his girlfriend burning alive in the sleeping bag, can't do shit about it because he steps in a bear trap in a pretty gnarly looking effect where it's just chewing into his bone. And whenever he's about to be saved, you see Jason in the shadows run straight up to him, cave his machete into his head, and then just kicks his fucking head off like, get off my knife, bitch. Number 7. There's only one thing to say about it. Hey Ted, where's the corkscrew?
Ted! Ted! Hey, Ted, where the hell's the corkscrew?
Number 6 is the one thing about Jason Goes to Hell that always stuck in my mind from a kid from when I saw this. It was the only time that I saw Jason Goes to Hell until I was in probably my early 20s when I finally revisited, and that is the tent kill with the rail spike and tearing the chick in half and holy shit, carnage candy. Number 5, you knew this one was going to be on here, baby. This is by far the best kill in Jason X. It's the one that the movie is kind of forgiven for in a lot of circles and remembered for and celebrated for in some of the others. Number 4 is the kill that I absolutely remember and rewatch Friday the 13th Part 2 for. This is the best kill in that film and one of my favorite kills in the entire franchise, obviously being this far. And it's just so damn mean. Kicking off the top 3 is the man himself, Jason Voorhees, and the only time in this entire 12-film franchise that I actually consider him dying. This is the only death of Jason, and it is one gnarly, badass kill. Thank you, Tom Savini. God bless you. Number 2 brings us back to Freddy vs. Jason. And the reason that this kill is so high on this list is not only because it's a badass kill, but because in a lot of ways, this was kind of my introduction to Jason. When I saw Freddy vs. Jason in theaters, of course I was a Freddy fanatic. You guys know me. If you're new to this channel, hi, I've been a Freddy fanatic and a Chucky fanatic since I was 4 years old. Those are my boys. So I went to go see Freddy vs. Jason for Freddy. Jason, I really didn't have too much experience with. I'd seen scenes like on HBO when they would play a couple of these movies. I had seen Jason Goes to Hell, which is a very strange film in this franchise to be the only one that you've seen in its entirety. I hear you. But nonetheless, I didn't know a whole lot about Jason. Obviously, I knew his look, I knew he was a badass motherfucker, and I knew that Freddy was gonna whoop that ass. So we went to go see this movie, and the opening kill as far as Jason goes, aside from the dream sequence kill, was so badass though. As soon as it happened, I was like, oh. Okay, I might be a Jason fan now. But number one, the gold star, the crown jewel kill, number one out of 181 damn kills in this entire bloody ass franchise. Holy Jesus, goddamn, it's Axel.
Jesus Christmas!
Look, not only is Friday the 13th, the final chapter, one of my favorite, in fact, my second favorite in the entire franchise, so this is one that I constantly rewatch if I'm in the mood for a Jason movie, but this is one where the kills were pretty damn gruesome. They were dark, they were painful, they were mean. There was nothing slapstick about what Tom Savini was doing in the final chapter, and this opening kill to the film solidified that. I mean, you've seen a ton of throat slashes, you've seen heads get turned around, we've seen that kill done a couple dozen times in this franchise alone. But the way that it's done here with the slow hacksaw kill on a douchebag character that you really don't mind seeing go through a little bit of pain, and then just having his 2/3 of the way cut off skull just spun the fuck around. Oh. Well, that's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you appreciate all of the meticulous hard work that went into this video. This is probably one of, if not the most ambitious video, certainly the most ambitious ranking that I've ever done. And I apologize it's taken so long, but hopefully the wait was worth it. Hopefully you agreed with a lot of my kills, my placements, so that you can enjoy this video. If you didn't, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below what your top 10 or 20 were, or what your bottom 5 were. Don't feel the need to send me a list of 181, because that'll be a lot of scrolling. But let me know your thoughts on the kills in the Friday the 13th franchise. And even though I do have a couple of plans already in my head, what is the next franchise that you want to see a Slaylist for? So let me know that down below, guys, as well. Please like and share this video, help this thing get around, spread it around so that all the hard work is worth it and I get to see all of your beautiful faces down in the comment section below letting me know how crazy this ranking is. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button down below so you can stick around for all the other upcoming blood-soaked content on this channel, and you can check out all the awesome shit that you've missed out on in the 3 years I've been on YouTube. It's all right over there. In the meantime, guys, please enjoy, and as always, remember, opinions are like assholes. That doesn't mean that you have to be.